Y'all, we're lucky. We're so freaking lucky. Got Eddie Murphy live in the blood, in the flesh here on a live call with us today. Eddie Murphy, I don't know anything about you except two things. Number one, what your name is, and number two, apparently you're motivated. Because if you wear a T-shirt that says "motivated" across the chest, man, what are you motivated about, sir?
Everything, life, liberty, pursuit of happiness, everything, the human potential. I'm a believer and I stay motivated
I wasn't raised a believer.
24/7, 366 on leap year, 365 the rest of the time.
Why?
I have been involved in the martial arts for literally the majority of my life, a little over 50 years.
Okay.
And I found it to be inspiring. And it came to me in a time in my life when I was not really looking at myself. I didn't have a lot of high self esteem or self awareness, or self care for that matter.
Mhm.
And when I found it, I knew this was my mission in life, to share this type of thing with everybody in the world.
So
So
what do you do to get somebody motivated? If I'm like, well, okay, fine, Eddie Murphy, I'm not motivated. I think life sucks, people suck, the world sucks, and I'm a victim and all this stuff. What do you tell me?
I tell them things like this: we as a people, the only limitations that we have in this life on this planet are the ones that we set for ourselves. If you believe in yourself, you can inspire others to believe in you as well. So be unlimited. And that's my motto. I actually have a t-shirt that has that on it. As I wear it, I created, has my name on it. I said, I am unlimited. We are unlimited. No limits.
I'll tell you what, out of all the Eddie Murphys in the world, I'm glad I got you on the call. That was freaking fire, dude. Where do you live? Where do you come from? What do you do? I don't know anything about you at all. So I'm so excited. Tell me all the things.
I currently live in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, beer capital
Do I sound like a country hit?
of I think at least the United States, because I think Germany is like the beer capital of the world, but Wisconsin is like second. So, and then I'm originally from Louisiana, born Southern guy, and like the Southern slow and easy lifestyle. I was I was in the military for 23 years, retired
Thank
from
you.
that. I currently own and operate martial arts school here in Milwaukee, and I've been doing that here in Milwaukee for 32 years. But I've been training in martial arts for over 50, and it's
Are you a
what I.
black belt?
Yes, ma'am. I hold rank in a lot of different martial arts styles, but I'm a seventh degree black belt with the American Taekwondo Association.
So you could
World
kick all
world
of our
champion.
asses.
I'm sorry.
You could kick our ass, all of us.
Well, maybe 9 or 10 at a time, but not all. I do have limitations, and I try not to exceed them. So anytime that I'm in a crowd of 20 that want to, try out, I always say, wait a minute, half y'all wait, and then I take on the rest.
That's awesome. How annoyed are you when people are like, Eddie Murphy, ha 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 ha? Or like, how do you handle that?
When I put it like this, the first time that I heard of this other guy, because I actually do know about him, was in 1982 or 3. I was in Miami, Florida, and
Okay.
I was pretty well known as a martial artist even then. I was at a tournament what I had just won, and I was being interviewed by the press, and they said, "What do you think of that other Eddie Murphy?" And I said, "What other Eddie Murphy? Don't you watch Saturday Night Live?" And that just happened to be a Saturday, and I said, "No, but I will." I said, "Well, he's on there," and I watched him, and then this is the first time I saw him, and it was funny to me because he, Mr. Robinson's neighborhood. That was the first my first time seeing him, and that's what I saw, and I was like, "Okay, cool."
Do you think he's
But
funny?
I've taken great advantage of the fact that his name and my name are the same. I even think we have the same middle initial.
What?
Yeah, I think so. And while I was in Florida, I helped friends of mine get gigs at places like the Fountain Blue Hotel in Miami. I help friends of mine get gigs in New York, the musicians, and I would call and say, "Hi, this is Eddie Murphy. I got group Eddie Murphy, the Eddie Murphy, yes, the Eddie Murphy." And open doors for some of my friends to get their bands at least an opportunity to audition to play at these different venues.
No
So
way.
yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
gonna start slipping your name in my auditions then. I know
That
Eddie
works for
Murphy.
me. That works for me. And I've helped people open doors for people that probably the door wasn't even cracked a little bit, but
Mm,
and it's cool for me. I enjoy it.
I love it. I
I
love it.
reached out to the other guy, and I still haven't heard from him. I feel like he owes me money. You know,
Who?
Eddie Murphy, that other guy.
Oh, yeah. How
Yeah,
much
he
does he owe you?
came. I couldn't even put a dollar amount on it, but he should at least buy me dinner. You know.
Something.
Yeah, that's the way I
Yeah.
see it.
People get famous, they just forget things. Listen, I'm going to show you a clip real quick and we're going to react to it together, okay?
Okay.
Who is to you the most naturally funny person you've ever encountered?
Red Fox.
Red Fox. Oh, that's a great answer.
My question to you, sir, who is the most naturally funny person you've ever encountered?
Robin Williams.
You've encountered him?
I encountered so many celebrities, but I met Robin Williams, and he was hilarious in person. I met him at the Monterey Jazz Festival, 1985, something like that.
What?
Yeah,
How?
we just bumped into each other. We were just looking at some cars and stuff, and he's just so down to earth, very cool, very easy to talk to, fun-loving guy, and he was a laugh a second.
Laugh a second.
Yeah,
But you said you do this a lot. You just bump into people famous all the time?
all the time. It's crazy. I've met Ed Asner, Melissa, the she's a
McCarthy?
singer.
McCartney?
Stephanie Mills. Just bumped into her. She actually, I was in the army in Miami, and she had a show going on. I didn't even know who she was. She came up to me, and she was kind of by herself, and she actually grabbed me by the arm and was like, "Oh, all these people are coming for me," and I was like, "What people?" And I go into defense mode, and she says, "Oh, I'm getting ready to have a show here." I said, "A show?" She said, "You don't know who I am?" I said, "No." She says, "I'm Stephanie Mills. I'm a singer." Okay, yeah, I've heard your stuff. And then the press kind of bombarded her and started interviewing. I was part of that interview. I know they might have edited me out, but I was there.
What is
And
it about you that just draws famous people to you? They just like you or
I
something?
I seem to just be I'm approachable.
Mm.
And I consider myself very approachable. Even in the martial arts where in the military, different things like that. Everybody talk about how hard I can go from one side to the other as a presence. I can be a very intimidating person when I need to be, but most of the time people come and even little children just walk up to me out of the blue and
Aw.
just yeah, grab and give me a hug. I don't know. I say it's my aura, and it's people for the most part like me. And
So you're part of that 10 group who kick their ass. They don't like
right,
you.
yeah.
Understand.
And most of the time, I never think about it until after the fact, but I never ask people like for autographs and things like that. We just talk if we can. I was at a party one time and I met Sincere, and I didn't know who he was, and I was telling him, "Oh, I want to be a singer," and I said, "Yeah, I'd like to sing. I'm really good at it." And he says, "Well, I sing." He says, "I'm Sincere." I said, "That's cool." I said, I'm sincere also. But I just thought he was just saying that he was sincere about singing. I didn't know he was the singer sincere. I said, "Oh, you that singer?" He says, "Yeah." He said he asked me to do a verse of a song or something like that, and I did. He actually said to me, "I wish I had your bravado." And I said, "Okay, whatever that
Nice.
is, cool." I didn't know,
Wow.
and I've met so many famous people,
That's
Bobby
wild.
McFerrin, train. martial arts world with Chuck Norris, Bill Wallace, those guys. I go way, way back in the martial arts world. Yeah.
Wow. And I'll tell you what, we lucked out having you on the show. I'm telling you what. Telling you what. Okay, I got a next question for you. Next video clip we're going to react to.
It's a blueprint, and I followed it my whole career. It's very simple. There's three things you just do. These three things: pay your taxes, mind your business, and keep Will Smith's wife's name.
Here's my question to you. If you were to give 3 pieces of advice, 3 to the world, the blueprint for happiness, success, everything we're reaching for, what are the 3 things that you would tell us?
Well, I like what he said on the first one because I actually got in some trouble for that. So pay your taxes. Definitely do that. Stay all over that. And the next thing, treat people the way you want to be treated.
Come on.
And in spite of somebody's attitude or nature, when they approach you, know that you have the ability within yourself to change it. So if a negative person come up to you, you can influence their attitude and actions by your attitude and actions.
What's the third?
That is the third.
Oh, you can
One,
influence other people. I get
right.
confused.
One, pay your taxes.
Pay
Treat
taxes.
treat others the way you want to be treated.
3.
And the third one is influence people, or try it, for lack of a better word, inspire people to be happy.
Excellent. Excellent. All right, here's our last one. This is a goodie.
Whenever somebody come and ask me for some advice, I tell them, don't take nobody's advice. You know?
He's not a fan of advice. So I want to know, he tells later a story of some bad advice he got once. What's the worst piece of advice you've ever been given?
Give up on your dream. I was told one time, because of my life's journey, somebody said to me, "Why don't you just quit?" I said, I lack that ability. I don't know how to do that. And I said, quitting is not part of my DNA. And when they were telling me, it says, well, you're getting older, your body's just not up to par, just quit. No, not going to do it. As long as my body can continue to move and function, I'm going to continue to do things
Amen.
that inspire me and others. So,
Amen.
but that was definitely the worst advice. Stop. Why don't you just quit? Quit. You know, that's what I would do if I was you. Thank you for not being me.
Preach on that.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the very last question I'll give to you. But first of all, thank you so much for your time, your generosity coming on. I'm so glad I got to connect with a motivated man like you. Speaking of motivation, man, artists, it can be tough out there because you're working really, really hard, and it takes a minute often to see any kind of results or traction. And it can get really, really discouraging. So, for all the creatives and comedians that are watching this who might be in a really dark space right now with their work, maybe they have people telling them they need to give up and this isn't responsible and all the things. What advice would you give them?
Never, ever give up on your dream. Stay focused. You might have to adjust the date. I tell everybody it's all about setting goals. And once you know how to set goals and establish them, your goals need to be realistic. Don't set a goal that you know in your heart is unobtainable. But if you have a goal, you want to be able to do something with your life, you want to do music, you want to do comedy, you want to be a martial artist, those are realistic goals. And once you set that goal for yourself, continue to strive for it. Don't quit. Don't let anybody stop you. And make sure you select the people that are in your life that are going to support you versus suppress you.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that. Eddie Murphy, it was a joy connecting with you. Thanks so much for your time.
Heather, I want to thank you for your time. And when I have to say this one last thing. When I got the message from Dominic about this, he said parody. And he said, I thought he was making a joke. I said a parody of this. I did not know this was your actual name. So I thought, oh, how cool is that? And so I said, okay. I told him, I said, you had me at parody. Yes,
Oh,
okay.
no. I need to start using that more like you use Eddie Murphy. I need to like let that slip me into some rooms.
Yeah, it works. It still works.
Just saying.
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely.